on your own. You can do that, and it can just be very detrimental. And so that should be a red flag. If anyone here says, my friend says, her husband doesn't want to get an attorney, he'll just get one and they'll do everything. Keep in mind that they're looking out for themselves. Like I said, remember that men look at it as a business transaction. And particularly, they generally all do, but the more, the bigger their ego, the more successful they've been, the more, that's just kind of what they do. I'm going to handle it all. But they're looking after themselves most of the time. And you know what? Wouldn't it be great if you had an attorney look over and say, oh my gosh, yeah, you're scoring big. This is your best day in court. And then wouldn't that be nice to know rather than later when you're like, I just caved and now I'm stuck with in this agreement. So it's important because yes, that's 12 months of your life, but you probably have a lot of living left to do, and you're kind of that snapshot of the rest of your life and the time you've invested in the marriage. It's well worth it to make sure it's done right. One of the judges in St. Johns County, and they really do not appreciate when people represent themselves, but Judge Alexander has been around for a long time. He's like, what would you do? You can go to the hospital and cut off your own leg, but is it really a good idea? And it's not, and that's why lawyers go to law school. That's why we focus on certain areas so that we can, advise you and have your best interest, because like I said, you don't know what you don't know. And it's a scary and difficult proceeding, particularly when you enter that courtroom. Anybody who's ever had to go into the courthouse by themselves, or shoot, even the hospital, and enter those fields when you just don't know. And it can be scary and intimidating because there's a lot of words, this whole, language, and everything you just don't even understand. And you're like, I'm a smart person. I should be able to get this and do it. It has nothing to do with that. It has to do with understanding that world and really what you're entitled to and how things work. One of the things we've really worked hard on in developing this law firm is becoming, essentially focusing on one thing and doing it really better than anybody else. And it's like, well, how are we different? Well, we do choose to work with women, and it's not that I hate men, not at all. I just like women better, and I'm married, I love my husband, but I do think women are better, and I do think that's who I want to represent, and it's important to me. It really is, because as a mother myself and a wife, but I saw what my mother went through, and it wasn't just one marriage, and it was really worse as she had a marriage that had a lot of assets and and he was just so ugly, and the attorney, it just was so difficult for her. I was like, you can do it, stick it out, and she just couldn't. And it's so important to me to be that for women and say, you can do this, because I believe women are just amazing. We have babies, do everything. We can run a household and a business and work and just do so many things. And I just value that, and I think that sometimes, women need to hear that. You're awesome. Like, don't listen to him. And you can do anything. You may not want to be, and nobody wants to be an attorney, okay, ever. I don't think, and that's okay. I don't take it personally ever. But I think, but let's take this and turn this into your new life. Because a lot of us sometimes end up in a situation that we didn't want to, but then we can really rise to the occasion and create a new life, create a new opportunity for ourselves. And it is important to me, because I know that every woman can do it. And someone says, oh, I'm just a stay-at-home mom. I think that's the worst thing anybody could ever say. I stay home with some of my children. That's the hardest job in the world. And it's just, that's part of what we do, is we really lift up our clients to say, you can be great. And let's look at when we get you through this divorce. And yes, my goal is, hey, let's get as much money as we can and really, get you in the best position possible. But then, I don't want you to be a victim. I want you to take this and create your new life, and whatever that may be. It may be creating a new business, doing something out of the box, but whatever it is, that's really our passion in helping women. I went to this amazing resort in September called Miraval, and my focus for our clients and all women who've kind of gone through something like this is to go there. It's the most amazing place to renew your spirit and your soul and just, you know, come out of there. And it's that kind of place. It's an amazing place that where you're like, wow, you know, I'm gonna leave the anger and the sadness behind and really focus on the positives in my life and use this experience to become a better person, whether it's to help other women who are going through it or to, you know, just better myself and become a better person. And so we have lots of programs and things that we're initiating this year, and this being one of them, educating women, empowering you to be like, you know, you can do this even if you didn't want to go through it, or if you know somebody who is, you know, to maybe know what to say to them and help them understand that, you know, there's a lot of information out there, and you just want to make sure you're listening to the right information and you're getting really what you need to know to make those decisions. And many times I've had clients in my office and they go through a lot of it. They say, you know what, I'm going to try harder. I may try some new things. I don't want to go through this divorce. If it's their idea or whatever, and you know, I support that. The last thing I want to do is I would never force anyone into a divorce unless there's violence and there's something that, you know, I want them to be safe. You know, I tell people all the time, I really don't break up marriages, but I don't put them back together either. You know, I kind of just get you where you need to be. And then you know, as our clients, those are who we are looking out for. And where do they need to be in the future and how to get them there and help them understand, like, it's worth investing in yourself. It's worth investing and taking the risk, and it's so scary. It's scary to wonder, like, what is my life going to be like? And I acknowledge that, and we really try to help give our clients resources, you know, the direction that it is going to be scary, but sometimes if we embrace it, it's better than where we were before, you know, and moving forward with that. I have a copy of my book in there, as well as some information about our firm, and we have a lot of exciting things going on this year. I'll really focus on women and how we can help women. We're going to start, I've created a new company that is associated obviously with Quick Law Group, but we don't do legal services. It's all about empowering women and helping women in business as entrepreneurs. I meet the most amazing women entrepreneurs, and I've been blessed through what I've done and built my company with no funds. And yes, I had my education, but you know, I built an amazing company. And we're doing business skills workshops. We're going to do a lot of mindset weekends and just a lot of really great things for women in this community, and really, you know, just all over to help them. And then also because I think that is one of the things that I see so many women after they go through this, like looking for, well, where's my place? What am I going to do? And kind of, you know, helping provide those resources, as well as the healing part, because that's an important part of it. Once we, you know, when we can heal ourselves and kind of understand ourselves, and that's just through all the work that I've done with myself, I think we're better able to help others and be a better contribution, you know, in space for people. And there's a lot of that in there, and you'll see the yoga on all our stuff. I do a lot of that to be strong for my clients. You know, it's important for me to stay healthy and create a space to be there for everyone else. And same with our attorneys and our staff. You know, what we do is difficult, but we're not mean, grouchy family law attorneys. We love it. And if you're like, wow, you're so happy to be a divorce attorney, it's like, well, it's not because I'm breaking up marriages or stomping on men, something like that. It's just, I'm seeing people who are so vulnerable at a terrible time in their lives, and they're trusting us, and I see them do amazing things that I think, wow, you inspire me. You know, you're doing things to fight for yourself, for your children. You're standing up for yourself for the first time in your life, and it inspires me to help them do that and become, you know, everything they're able to be. And so what we do is we make sure that we are strong so that we can be there for them, and that we don't become mean and grouchy. And we are mean. I mean, I'm not grouchy, but I'm mean when I need to be. And a lot of people do think I'm mean and disagree, but not my clients. Mostly usually the other attorneys, they're like, why do you have to be that way? They always say, oh, it's such a good deal for your clients. And that's, you know, part of what we do, because you guys and our client, that's who we're out there for. You know, not to please the judges, not to please the other attorneys, to really advocate on behalf of who we represent. And I just, again, I am glad you guys are here. I am hopeful that this was helpful for you, and I will answer any questions anyone has. Do, and if you don't want to do it in front of a crowd, that is fine. I'll be around. So you just